So this is going to be a bit of a different video than usual. I don't normally make these types of videos, as you might have already known. If you haven't watched my collaboration video with SniperMass BS, or you know, That's Pack Brawl Star, look, he changed his name, okay? How was I supposed to know? At the 2-minute 47 seconds mark, I even mentioned how this video is gonna be a lot similar to the iceberg video. That of course being commentary style. I even mentioned this in the description in the Master Bounty Hunter episode, and even said that this is gonna take a long time. I'm actually starting this in Infiltrating the Airship because escaping the prison and stealing the diamond doesn't really contribute amount to anything in the story besides showing why Henry was captured by the government in the first place. Anyways, let's dive into the story of tragedy, betrayal, agony, hatred, and of course, revenge. Straight into this.
Well, look who finally decided to wake up. You've been quite elusive, but your skills make you worth the catch. You'll be perfect for the job.
Hold it!
Now wait a second. How did Henry suddenly arrive on a helicopter? Wasn't the last time we saw him he was aided on the coast with a Tunisian diamond, escape a massive robot that was sent by the CCC itself, all laying out a bunch of money? Well, in the older version of Infiltrating the Airship, right before you click play, you can actually see that the government was planning to capture Henry alive, even warning the team that he's considered extremely lucky, and they were even trained for this. If you click through the right arrow on the tape, you can actually see Ralph and his team hiding outside of Henry's house. I know this is completely unrelated to the video, but if you scroll through the tape a bit more, you can see a police car and a scooter, directly implying that the badass Buzzstar ending and intruder on the scooter is actually the canon path. Obviously, this has been scrapped because PuffBallsUnited himself has said that all endings are actually canon. Okay, that was a lot of stuff to explain. Let's get back to the main topic of the video. After Henry wakes up and realizes he's in a helicopter, Chief Captain Gallifors, the man in charge of the Top Hat raid, explains to Henry how he's impressed what Henry can accomplish in the past. Heck, it was literally his idea to recruit Henry in the first place, something that he will later regret doing so later on. Captain Gallifors offers Henry a deal that if he can somehow bring down the Top Hats, every single crime he's been charged with will be erased and Henry will be a free man. Henry, with no option left for him, reluctantly agrees with Gallifors' offer. Henry asks Charles to blast him through the bridge of the airship with a cannonball, or as White Man puts it,
Keep a lookout for a guy in a big plastic ball.
Nice.
Hey, I've been looking at the numbers here. What do you think? Ah, yes. Let me have a look.
As Henry blasted through the window while hitting Old Man and Thomas Festa share in the process, White Man told Reginald to escape, leaving him to deal with Henry alone. At this exact moment, Henry realized that the best way to bring down the Top Hat clan was to capture their leader and bring him to the Gallifors. As Henry activated his chair ability, he rams through the airship metal door with no problem, while at the same time, Right-Hand Man manages to dodge the attack very conveniently. Right-Hand Man immediately warns the crew about Henry's sudden appearance.
For a guy in big plastic balls.
There it is! There it is!
Herb Stokes, who was on the crane at that exact time, saw who Right-Hand Man was referring to and tried to stop Henry by attempting to crush him. Henry realized the exact situation he was in and decided to eject himself out of a plastic ball into the quarters hallway, while also breaking an entire wall in the process. As he was running, Henry also noticed the leader right in front of him. Reggie noticed it as well that Henry was right behind him and tried to activate the doors as quickly as humanly possible. Henry, upon realizing that the doors was closing behind him as he was sprinting, decided to eat a can of beans that he had in his pockets, and the beans makes him fall like a freaking rocket and also gave him a boost to out on the doors that Reginald was activating directly into the brig. As Henry saw Reginald above him failing to swap his card properly, he picked up a rocket launcher nearby and began performing a rocket jump that worked flawlessly to Henry's favor. Henry was getting close to capturing the leader. Then, all of a sudden, Right-Hand Man dropped out of nowhere to stop Henry and challenge him to a duel. Now I know this might be a little nitpicky, but what the hell did he come from? He just simply dropped from the ceiling? What the is that bullcrap? Anyway, it doesn't really matter what options of weapon you pick, both are actually correct. I decided to go with the yo-yo because I actually really like the Earthbound reference. Gee, I really wonder why. After Right-Hand Man has been defeated, yes, defeated, not killed, Henry stumbled across a huge gap in the ventilation and decided to use a glider to get across. Opening the door, Henry saw Reginald and immediately jumped the gun on him by grabbing his yellow chain by the neck and dragging him to the end of the cargo bay. Whilst the door was opening, Reginald, in his last hope to not be arrested by the government, offers Henry a deal that because he defeated the right-hand man and himself, he thinks Henry is worthy of being the leader of his clan. Which, by the way, I find it to be extremely unlikely if that's the reason for it, but we will get to that when we reach fleeing the complex. Henry realized if he has the entire airship, he will be rich, he will make even more money than his old ice did, plus being the leader of a clan. Henry accepted Reginald's offer and told him to grab a couple of dummies that was nearby. He and the former leader proceeded to drop the dummies below, tricking the government into thinking it was the real deal. Chief Gallifors and Charles Kevin went down to go arrest Reginald until the story was just a pile of dummies. Gallifors, after realizing Henry just betrayed them, something that would happen to Henry in a very ironic way very much later, regretted ever recruiting him as an ally. As the airship began flying away in the distance, Gallifors screams out,
Henry!
and that is the last time we ever see of the government. They never appear again in the story after. During this time, Henry was given a rank and proceeded to do all sorts of missions and heists with the Toppat clan. So I have exactly no idea how Henry, the current leader of the Toppat clan, was arrested. It doesn't actually specify how. Even the trailer for fleeing the complex just said he got arrested, without any explanation how he got caught in the first place. Also, it's implied during Toppat Civil Warfare and Toppat for Life that none of the Toppat crew members, and even the government themselves, knew where Henry was at that time. It's funny, isn't it? Fleeing the complex is the only one to not have such a clear origin as to how Henry arrived at the location. So, forgive me if I'm going to roll with that. After being captured by the Wall, Henry is greeted by Dimitri Johans, the warden of the Wall. He says to Henry that he's going to be here for a very long time. Despite that, Sim is going to become very contradictory very soon. After being taken by Gregory Oliat, Henry is told to stay at the transfer cell area until her cell is found. He noticed Ellie right beside him but decided to ignore her and mind his own business. So Henry waited, and waited for who really knows how long at the transfer cell area. Then, as you might expect,
Alright, let's go. Have a good time.
Henry picks up a laser plane that was in his cell and begins to draw a rectangular shape around him, causing him to fall through the below floor while crushing an unnamed character. Upon accidentally crushing the unnamed character, Henry noticed a phone next to his dead body. He picks it up and proceeded to call an old friend. That old friend being none other than Reginald himself.
Yes, hello? Henry?
Reginald was surprised by Henry's sudden appearance. After learning that Henry is kept at the Wall, he told Henry to wait there until he arrives. After waiting for a full hour, Reginald asked Henry through the phone where his location is and realized he's at the cafeteria. Henry told him to send out a drill pod through the window to bust him out of the complex. When the drill blasted through the window, a massive shootout occurs with Sure Shot Sherman leading the mission. All no calls out for Henry.
Get to the airship! You can use this to get there.
He presented to Henry 3 different ways to get to the airship: a slingshot, a magnet, and a scooter. Henry picked the scooter because it reminds him when he stole the Tunisian diamond with it, and because it's the fastest way to get to the airship. Then we get to the infamous scene.
That was a close one, Henry. But I'm not going to pull you up. Without you, I become the leader of the Toppat clan again. I just wanted to look you in the eyes as I took it all back. Goodbye. I just wanted to look you in the eyes as I took it all back.
As Henry remembers those words, he never felt more surprise, shock, betrayed. All of these emotions turned into anger and an overwhelming amount of hatred. As Henry was falling towards the ocean, he realized that Reginald was planning to betray him from the very start, filling Henry with even more anger and determination to get his own revenge once and for all. Okay, I'll address the elephant in the room. Why did Reginald betray Henry? Well, from his own words.
But I'm not going to pull you up. See, without you, I become the leader of the Toppat clan again. I just wanted to look you in the eyes as I took it all back.
From that dialogue, you get the impression that he just wants the leadership for himself. He just wants the power of being the leader, right? Actually, it goes even more deeper than that. Think about it. If Reginald just wants power and control, then why did the ending of Top Hat King completely contradict this?
I got you, Henry. You know, I could drop you right now and nobody would know. But why would I do that? I saw you out there. You put yourself on the line to save the Top Hat clan. You've truly earned my respect. I can't think of a better person to lead us.
The clip speaks for itself. The reason why Reginald didn't drop Henry out of the space station, even when he had every opportunity to do so, is because Henry proved himself to be trustworthy. The same could be said for the ending of Top Hat for Life. This shows that in every single route where Henry is the leader of the Top Hat clan, Reginald never trusted him, until Henry proved himself like in the two endings I just mentioned. This is even more implied during Top Hat Civil Warfare.
I helped you escape, and you just left me.
What? Have you no honor? No dignity? Actions like this tarnish the Top Hat name. Men, is this really what we want out of a leader? He barged in here and took control of the Top Hat clan for himself. He's not worthy of being our leader.
Even though he's like a massive hypocrite here, he's still right. This is the guy that came out of nowhere in a giant big plastic ball with the original intent to capture him. Henry only became the leader of the Top Hat clan because Reginald was bribing Henry to save himself from being arrested by the government, which is why I found him saying like,
Defeated my right-hand man. I surrender the airship to you.
absolute BS. So it makes sense why Reginald couldn't trust Henry at all. To add a cherry on the top, Reginald's face expression at the rapidly promoted executive just screams that he absolutely regretted that decision. With all of these information sinking in, we proceeded to the final chapter of this story, the one that you have been waiting for, Revenge. After the events of the betrayed, Henry wakes up and realizes that he was saved by Dr. Yeah, I am not going to pronounce that. She says that Henry was unconscious for a bit. Or did I say a bit? I mean Henry was dead for 10 hours until he was brought back to life. She explains how she specialized in military-grade augmentations and was forced to replace Henry's spine and his left arm with a cybernetic enhancement. This is because some of the damages Henry sustained after the Great Fall was beyond repairing. Also, I would like to point out, because of this, people have speculated that she was that someone who fixed our right-hand man during the events of Relentless Bounty Hunter and rapidly promoted executive paths.
The Top Hats. Weren't they brought down by Henry? Unfortunately, no. Only their leader was captured. They're now being led by the previous right-hand man. The right-hand man? I thought he was defeated. Seems someone's fixed him up and given him cybernetic enhancements to boot. It'll be quite a handful to deal with.
She even mentions that she has encountered the Top Hat clan before.
You had run in with Top Hat clan, though. I've encountered them before.
Henry regained his memories after the fall, and went outside to see if the Top Hat airship is still there. The doctor quickly realizes what Henry was thinking and told him that the Top Hats went in the direction towards the south. Upon learning this information, Henry uses his cybernetic augmentations that was installed to his body to summon a jet in his back. The doctor is impressed on how fast Henry learned how to use his augmentation. With pure hatred to get revenge on the Top Hat clan, Henry flies to the south direction as quickly as he could, while the doctor wishes him good luck and hopes that he succeeded. Cutting to the airship, Reginald was discussing what they should be doing when they reach the Top Hat launch site, until, all of a sudden, Henry blasted through the window, head on, while hitting Reginald towards the wall. As Henry was about to kill Reginald, Right-Hand Man enters the scene and knocks Henry back from him with his own cybernetic hand. Reginald orders Right-Hand Man to eliminate Henry, and he sees this as an opportunity to get his payback after being defeated by Henry in the last showdown. Something I would like to mention is that this is the only route where the game changes its normal ratio to this cinematic movie-like ratio aspect. I personally think that this is really cool, and it separates Revenge from all the other completed mission routes.
Time to finish you off.
After Henry fell down to the airship, he noticed his blade is broken after stabbing Rahman's left eye with it. Rahman fell down a bit later than Henry. After that, he pulls out Henry's blade sword out from his left eye and is so tired with Henry's BS to the point he summons a giant red orb to kill him. Upon seeing Rahman's orb, Henry summons his own called Big Blast, and it cuts through the red orb and makes a big blast on the top of the airship. As the airship is losing altitude, Reginald realizes that he needs to get out of here. But before that can ever happen, Henry jumps down from the top. Reginald tries to shoot Henry point blank, but Henry managed to get the upper hand in just the right time. Now before we move on, I would like to talk about the two fail options here, because they are so utterly brutal. The airship option has Henry flying over to the rocket and use the airship itself to kill Reginald and himself while literally causing a mass destruction to the entire rocket base. While the other one, though it might not be as brutal, is a direct parallel to when Reginald did the same to Henry the first time. Unfortunately, the same tactic Henry tried to pull off on Reggie didn't work out so well.
Anyone available? There's an attacker in the cockpit.
Anyways, going back to the cannon path, Henry decided to staple Reginald on the wall and leave him for dead while the airship crashed. But in a shocking plot twist, Reginald shot Henry in his spine with a taser, making Henry unable to move freely. Reginald comments on how they're both gonna share their last ride together, and then laughs as hard as he could until the airship itself crashed completely.
Well, you got us. Was it worth it?
That is easily the most powerful line in the entire game. Was it worth it? Was it worth it for Henry to betray the government and become the leader of the Toppat clan? Was it worth it knowing Ellie? Was it worth it calling Reginald to rescue him and ended up almost dying because of that, and turning into a half cyborg? Was it worth it getting revenge on the Toppat clan in the first place, and ended up destroying an entire rocket base? Honestly, it's really debatable. What makes revenge even more tragic is that all of those things I just mentioned could have been easily avoided. Henry could have simply helped the government and not get involved with the Toppat clan whatsoever, not even bother with them at all after the betrayed ending. After witnessing Reginald's last breath, he struggles to move him because of his broken spine and grabs his stick in a bite and moves uphill. Henry lays down on the rock and slowly but surely dies with a view of the smoke of the crashing site in the background. What makes Henry's death even sadder is the fact that he had no allies, no one to remember him by, except for that doctor of course, because he betrayed the government and was betrayed by the former Toppat leader. And worst of all, at the end, after all this conflict, drama, hatred, and Henry finally got what he wanted out of this, he must have come to a realization if the outcomes were different at the end. Thank you all so much for watching the video. This video took a lot less time than I expected, considering the Angry Birds Iceberg video took 6 months to make, and the fact that video nearly has 1,000 views itself is quite astonishing. Also, thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. I won't be surprised if this video gets more views than my average gameplay video, because for some reason, whenever I make anything commentary related, the views just boost for no reason. That doesn't mean it will happen to this video, but hey, we can only hope of course. Also, one more thing I'd like to mention is that I might not post videos for a while. This is because in just a couple of days, I'm going to be busy with school, and I don't want to make videos at that time. And even if I did, I'm not going to get much time anyways, because this video alone took me 3 weeks, plus writing a script that's over 3,000 hours long, and I absolutely need a break from this. Anyways, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.